All right, guys, so we all know, if you're an Apple person like myself, that there is a new event that's going to be on September 15th. And the real question is, what's going to be launched? And the simple answer is, and let's be honest, nobody knows. The chances are good that we're going to see an Apple Watch, an iPad, and then some other stuff. That's kind of what we think we know based on all the supposed leaks. Now, one of the things that I had read over on Reddit, and I can't remember who said this, but it has been something that a lot of us speculated and kind of thought about, is that Apple is pretty good at marketing. Yes? Yeah. And they also realize that it's all about hype. And they get that, and they get that really well. So there's been a lot of people talking about how Apple actually puts out a lot of these leaks and rumors to redirect. Yeah, so that they put them out so that it builds this hype that this is going to come out or this is not going to happen, so that the actual keynote is a surprise. So we're going to look at a couple web articles today to see what we think might come out and talk about that. So here's Apple's website right here, and you can see this, the Apple event, September 15, 2020 at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So I'll be watching that, as well as I'm pretty sure a lot of you out there will be watching it as well. So let's talk here. So first off, over at Apple Insider, we see a little article here about the Time Flies event and some of their speculation. Again, they say the date, but after weeks of rumors surrounding the Apple Watch Series 6 and the updated iPad Air, we believe these two products may be announced at next week's, or actually this coming week's, event, as well as the Apple's location tracker, which is the Air Tags. Now, these Air Tags would be something very similar to the Tile system, and that's a system that I actually use myself. I have it on my keys, I actually have one on my motorcycle, and little devices that could possibly get lost, and it's nice to be able to track them. So it looks like Apple may be getting into something like this. But they say in this article, this event won't include the iPhone 12. So this is the big one that everybody's talking about. Will we see an iPhone 12? Will we see even maybe a new Apple computer, so a Mac, with Apple's own silicone in it? That was Apple Insider. So in another article on Apple Insider, they share a tweet from John Prosser here in regards to some of his leaks, which were an Apple Watch SE, which is a more affordable one. You guys can see the page right here. Would take on the Series 4 design, and I actually use a Series 4. Now, one of the things that is going to be missing on that watch is the ECG. And the ECG is a nice feature. I like having it on my Series 4. Not that I use it very often. I use it more, honestly, to showcase that it does that. People are like, let's see the ECG. And I'm like, okay, kind of cool. But it can be really important for those that have any kind of heart issues. But for the majority of people, it's not something that is enabled automatically. It has to be manually done. So again, for those of us without a heart issue, it's not necessarily a feature that we really will use that often. But the SE could come out. If it hits that Apple Watch Series 3 price tag or less, it could actually be really good. And it will take on, like it says, all the characteristics design-wise as the Apple's Series 4 and 5. That could be cool if we see that. Will we see a 6? My guess would be we'd see a 6, because they're not going to release an Apple Watch SE. And that's in quotes because there's no official SE name. They're just kind of thinking that has specs that are so close to the Series 5 without an ECG in it for almost twice the price. So Apple Watches, I do see Apple Watches coming out at this, because it has been a little bit of time since the Series 5 came out. And, there's a couple speculation that the whole Apple event being called Time Flies can be a real push toward time. But there's also some speculation that the Time Flies is based around a new time of flight feature. And that could also be something that could be possibly announced, this time of flight feature. So we shall see if that is also incorporated. Because of the way the event page was designed. For those that are saying that an iPhone is not going to be released, it just seems a little weird that they would put this extra effort into the design. Because for those of you that go to that event page on an iPhone, I'll just bring up my iPhone here, you can actually get this cool little, almost like augmented reality thing that's kind of put in there. And it is only available on the iPhone. You guys can see it here. So releasing something like this on a event that has nothing to do with an iPhone kind of feels a little weird. I think that having this kind of is Easter egg-ish to being like, yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit about this. This may be something, but again, I don't know. Speculation, nobody knows. Nobody knows. The only one that knows is Tim. Tim knows. Tim knows what's going on. Yeah, he does. You and I, we don't know. We'll know September 15th. That's when we're gonna know. Now to follow up that, Canadian website Mobile Syrup, actually their headline right on their page, Apple announces September 15th iPhone 12 event. So half the guys that are rumors are saying, no, that's not happening. We actually have a title that says the iPhone 12 event. So again, this is probably the year with the most confusion and the most contradiction in regards to rumor leaks. There's so many people that are on this side, so many people on this side. You're seeing websites and videos coming out all the time now just being like, oh, sorry, we were wrong. And then the next day, sorry, we were wrong again. So over on, here's my last website here, Tom's Guide. Tom's Guide, and this only came out 21 hours ago as I'm shooting this. It was in regards to how to watch this event, which is cool, but it talks about what they think will again be coming out. And this is one of the most recent articles that I've stumbled across. So again, Apple 15th event, how to watch it, great. They're talking about the Apple Watch Series 6, sure, with hopefully a SE model or a non-Series 6, I guess. New iPad 4, and a lot of the speculation is that the iPad Air 4 will take on the look and appearance of the 11-inch iPad Pro. Some of the features may not be there that the Pro supports, but we will get that shape and finish. Just like the iPad Air 3 basically took on all the sizing and looks of the iPad Pro pre the iPad 11-inch Pro. So the 10.5-inch Pro sort of became the iPad Air 3. So I'm guessing that this iPad Air 4 will be basically very similar to, again, the iPad Air Pro 11-inch with a couple features slowed down or disabled. So we'll see. Apple Silicone MacBook. This rumor is kind of floating around a lot now, and it's based around an Apple 14-inch MacBook, either a MacBook or a MacBook Pro. So that has been in the rumor mills for some time, but we may actually see, and it may not be something in depth, but see possibly a release date or our first looks at a MacBook with the new Apple Silicone in it. And if we can see a 14-inch, that would also be a nice little surprise. And I think the 14-inch will be very similar to what the 16-inch was in the MacBook Pro line. The 16-inch MacBook Pro really was the 15.6-inch. It's just that the screen itself had less bezels on it. So I'm thinking the 14-inch MacBook Pro, basically same size and shape as the current 13-inch, but again, a tighter, smaller bevel around the actual display to make that screen bigger, but fit in the same body. So because of that, this is something that they'd only have to really work on the internals. Cosmetically, it may be very similar, but it'd be cool, very cool. AirPod Studios, again, would be nice. And these are ones that I think could be a lot more feasible as things that are announced. They don't need to take up a whole bunch of time, but AirPod Studios, AirTags, and we may even see a HomePod Mini. These are very cool little products because price-wise, these are ones that you want to make sure that you get out for the holiday season. These have to come out for the holiday season. If not, they're going to miss that big sales period, right? For revenue. That's really important for them to get these out soon. Waiting to October or November, too close to Christmas. A lot of people are starting like Christmas and holiday shopping already. And then last but not least, again, the iPhone 12. So the iPhone 12 will come in two sizes, a 5.4 inch and a 6.1 inch. And then the iPhone 12 Pro will come in a 6.1 inch. And the bigger one, which I believe, I may get this wrong, a 6.7 or 6.8 inch, somewhere in that range. Now, a lot of the rumors are pointing towards the 6.1 inches of both the 12 and the 12 Pro would be the only two that would be released kind of simultaneously right away. The larger iPhone 12 Max and the smaller iPhone 12 would possibly be released later. And my thought is, because the 12 and the 12 Pro are using basically the same body size, it wouldn't be that big of an issue to manufacture a bunch of those and just put different internals and camera systems inside them. But again, we shall see. Very, very interesting. But we do know, without question, 100%, that there's an event September 15th, and it's not far away. What we don't know is anything. Nope, nothing. That's what we know, nothing. It's a surprise, as well it should be. Apple's probably one of the best companies in keeping secrets. This one is no different. No different at all. All right, guys, I'm gonna make sure that on September 15th at 10 a.m. Pacific time, I'm sitting in front of the machine, watching. Oh yes, and I'm sure you guys will be too. At least you Apple guys, you guys that are on other devices, you don't care. And I get it, that's cool. You don't need to care. All right, guys, I'm gonna leave it there, and more tech news coming up, as well as more tech reviews coming up tomorrow, of course. That's it. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and we will see you guys next video. Later.